and we're in my backyard at the old Homestead. And I have seen this play several times, but Gus, I think you've probably been in the play more than I've seen it. So how long have you been in the play?
50 years.
50 years. And how did you start?
Well, I was going with a girl in high school, and her dad was the first revival Uncle Josh.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to be in the play.
Yeah.
And so I went in the service, and she went and married somebody else.
Figures, huh? Yeah.
And then I waited around for the part of Cy Prime, which was what I wanted.
Yeah.
And finally ended up with it 6 or 7 years later. And
Yeah.
been here ever since.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So what did you like about Cy?
I think it was the Tim Conway of the early years.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right.
But he was Cy Prime. You saw him on the street, and you were talking to Cy Prime.
Yeah.
So it was just a fun thing. I had been in small town plays, and I graduated from the Sullivan, New Hampshire Summer Theater, and thought I'd made the big time.
Yeah. In Swansea, New Hampshire.
But I
Yeah.
got stuck for 50 years right here. But
Yeah. But what a great place to get stuck to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So tell me a little bit. Now we're looking out from the stage, and we've got a nice backdrop. We have the New York City church's backdrop. This
Yes.
is traditional. This has
Grace-
been here for years and years.
Yeah, it's Grace Church.
Grace Church. Yep.
It's an original prop.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's beautiful. You know, when they have the play going, to see the light coming through, and I love the scene with the policeman and the post office
Yeah.
guy and everything like that. But tell me a little bit. Like, have you ever seen this area filled with people?
Yes.
What was it like?
Amazing. About 1,600 people.
Yeah, a night.
Place was packed.
Yeah, yeah. And did people? They were up on the hill and
Brought
the
brought
whole area?
lawn chairs and
Yeah.
just hung out.
yeah, yeah. And what do you think has changed? Why? What's happened?
It's not that type of entertainment anymore. There is no swearing, no nudity,
No killing,
no killing.
right?
It's just a down-to-earth play, which
Right.
has survived a lot longer than all those shows.
And it will.
This is longer than any Broadway show has lasted, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. What, 73 years coming up?
Yes, it was revived, and it was first performed in 1886 by Demon Thompson.
Right.
But then it was revived in 1939 to get money for the churches, and it's been going ever since.
Right, right. So, you know, a lot of the things that you have, like this curtain and a lot of the props, are right from the start. You know, a lot of the costumes that you have and everything. Yeah.
We lost a lot of them in the fire in '78.
Right.
But it didn't affect the running of the play because we ran that year anyway. Took some
Yep.
scrambling, but they put up a new stage.
Right. Right. Yep. Yeah.
And most of the big stuff was in another building, so we didn't lose.
Yeah. You were lucky for that.
Lost a little small stuff.
Yeah. So they had a few of the smaller things here, but most of the stuff was in storage during, you know,
Yes.
when they had the fire. So some of the things, though, that I see that you could really use some help on is maybe some of your lighting and the sound system.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of things that, you know, you guys will probably have to replace in the next few years, I would think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to see this play continue on.
Yeah.
Yep. Who were some of the directors that you had?
Sid Drew, he's the one I can remember, and Mr. E. Ebenhausen,
Yeah.
as he was here. He came to help us out for a couple of years till we found somebody
And it lasted
and stayed.
on and on and on.
He stayed, I think he was 25 or 30 years.
Right.
He ended up being it.
Right. Well, what a good community thing where you can get people involved at a very young age. I know that Rickety Ann, Rachel, has been with you guys for quite some time.
I met her in a cradle right there,
Yeah, yeah,
2 months old.
yeah, yeah,
She's been in it ever since, and she
Right.
knows the whole play.
yeah,
She can recite it
yeah,
word for word.
yeah, yeah. I just can't imagine not having this continue on, you know?
No. I can't either.
No, no. It's really great having you around, you know? You know, when I think of you as Cy and then I think of you as Uncle Josh a couple of years ago, you know, it was just, really, you do such a great job.
I think Cy was the famous the favorite part, though.
Well, I don't know. You did a good job as Uncle Josh, too. Yeah, yeah. And then, let's see, Lee, over here. Lee, come on over. Lee came on, and he took over for you after with the Uncle Josh. Is that, were you the next?
He took over after.
Right, right. So Lee, let's bring this curtain across, and we'll see what the other backdrop is. This is the backdrop that most people would see during the rest of the play. This is actually one of my favorite scenes.
This is the third act.
Yep. And this one here again has the policeman. It has Uncle Josh. It has what is the character's name that is the bum that turns into the rich guy? I can't think what his name is.
Well, you had to ask me.
I know. Anyway, but it's a funny, it's
Yeah.
like a vaudeville act,
Yeah.
when they're going through, and especially when Steve Schneier, who's been playing
Yeah.
the policeman, comes in and he goes after the guy with the mailbox and all of that.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny. So, all right, well, I think I'm going to ask Lee a little bit more about the play.
Okay.
And I really thank you for all of your years of service.
Thank you.
It's not, you're not making a lot of money on this, are you? Did you make riches?
Yeah.
You have to love it.
As much as anybody.
Right. So this is something that you have to love, and it's something that you give back to the community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So as you can see, Uncle Josh has gotten a little younger. This is the newer Uncle Josh.
Yeah.
So this is Lee Dunham, and you've been doing the play for how long, Lee?
I have to ask that question. Well,
What was your first part? Do you remember your first part?
official part
Right.
was cooking popcorn over there, and then I played the trumpet in the third act in the Salvation Army.
Ah, yes.
And then I became Ebb,
Uh-huh.
on to Seth, and then
So
Uncle
did
Josh.
you
This is
play
only my
Seth
third year.
when he was playing, when Gus was playing Cy?
yeah, I played Seth when he was playing
Oh, you guys must have had so much
and
fun.
then he switched over to Uncle Josh.
Right. Wow. So tell me, do you have any funny stories to think back on things that you've done here at the old homestead?
Wait, that I've done?
Oh, not that. No, you don't have to admit that you've
You
done
never
them.
admit what may have done. We all have a joke night here.
Uh-huh.
And it's been, over the years, a lot of things have happened. I think the biggest joke that ever happened, I don't know who did it. I really, to this day, I don't think anybody knows who did it. But in the first act, there's, Aunt Tildy is out doing her little berry thing.
Getting hit on by Uncle Josh.
What she's supposed to be
Or no,
doing
Cy,
is
yeah.
going through a mess of raspberries and getting them ready for cooking. And Cy comes out with
Yep.
another bunch of raspberries, and well, there was beetles here. And these we're not talking June bugs, we're talking beetle. And it was bigger than a June bug. And one happened to get into Cy's, not into Cy's bucket, into Tildy's bucket. Now, I think it was Pat McClure was doing Tildy that night, and most of us, when we wear stage glasses, they're like you're looking at, you can't see.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate. These are ones that make me see. So she had no clue it was in the bucket until she felt it. And when she felt it was not until Cy was dead center stage, about to say a line, and she just screamed and threw the bucket and everything with it.
She's so dramatic.
It was, in timing, if you could have directed that and
Yeah.
had it work that way, it
Yeah.
never would happen.
Oh,
But
gosh.
that was one of the memorable ones.
Yeah. Well, I love watching Cy when he's hitting on her and trying to get her all excited about things. And
They got her excited that day.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Oh,
And
boy.
there's so many different times during the play that it brings back memories, and I think that's one of the reasons that it hits home with some people, and it might not hit home when you're a teenager so much because you haven't lived through that. But now, as we're getting older, especially, you think back of your grandparents, what it was like on the farms.
Yeah.
We don't deal with that anymore. It's mostly,
Yeah.
city folk, I guess we'd be considered, but.
Yeah, times have changed, and,
Yeah.
and that's what Denman played into when he did the play, and why he made such a success out of it, because He went into New York City with a pair of oxen. And what did he do? He played on those people that left the farms for
Right.
the city life and hated the city because the city was not really a pleasant place to be in the
Right.
1880s and 1890s. They hadn't reformed things yet. So that's what he played on, and it worked out well for him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got a little bit of everything, you know, with the oxen that come through in the beginning, and then the farm hands
Yeah.
that sing along. You know, I almost kind of wish sometimes that I knew all the words that they sing, because you hear it the same thing every year, and that's one of the things that I like about the play is it's predictable. Because, except for the other little things that happen. But it's predictable because you know, okay, so this is what's going to happen in this act, and this is what's going to happen in that act. And it's small town, you know.
It's small. It's very true to life. Denman created a play that was really based on realism. He made the farm scene in the fourth act. If you go down to Sturbridge Village and walk into the farm, the Freeman Farm, that's what is down there. If you walk into there in the fall, you see apples drying on the ceiling and in the kitchen and stuff. Exactly what he did in this scene.
Right.
We don't put those in there anymore because they're a real headache to, I mean, you have to do a new set every year.
Right.
They don't last.
Right. Yeah.
So we don't do that anymore. But you know, that's what Denman did. He brought all those little things that you could remember from your childhood on the farm and put them on the stage in New York City, in Chicago, San Francisco, Denver, all over the place he played.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's something for everyone if they want to be participating in the play, because you have little babies, or
Yes.
I don't know if you use a real baby anymore, but we do have Rickety Ann
From
again.
time to time, there's
Rachel.
been a real baby
Yeah.
in it. She's a little grown up
Yeah.
now. But yeah, there's
And then you have the berry pickers.
There's about, what, between 40 and 50 actors on stage every night.
Yeah.
And couple that with the backstage hands and the stage crew, the makeup artists, you know, there's a lot of people that put this on.
Right,
so.
and there's something for everyone. I mean, even
Yeah.
some of the preparation, you know, in anticipation of the day. I mean,
And you
there's
do-
grass that probably needs to be cut. There's lighting. There's
You don't have to be a professional actor either.
really.
I'm not.
You're not.
No.
What do you do as a regular job?
Public Works Director here in Swansea, so I
Yeah.
stay right at home here.
Right. So there is something for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we have a couple of girls here that have a pretty nice voice, and I
Oh,
thought I'd
yeah.
like to pull them in. If you girls want to come over. And they're going to sing one of the songs that you guys have in the play at one of the intermissions.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about this song.
Well, the story of trees, why we perform it here every year. We're not the only town that claims that Joyce Kilmer wrote it in their town. However, I did get to meet Dr. Kibler, who lives up on the Perry Farm, and he's the one that told me the story of, you see that old little stump over there? That's the tree that Joyce Kilmer's mother was looking at when this thing was written. He used to go up, Joyce Kilmer would go up and stay on the Holbrook Farm on Winch Hill, Swansea, and they'd travel up to the Perry Farm, which wasn't that far away, and sit there on the porch. And that's supposedly where he wrote the poem Trees, which was put to music. And that's why we perform it here every year, between second and third, just before the third act.
Yeah. So what are the roles? You play Rickety Ann, Rachel, and then
Annie Hopkins.
Annie Hopkins, yep, is what Grace plays. So if you guys, I know it's going to be tough because you don't have any music with you, you don't have a beautiful piano, somebody playing the piano, but if you guys want to just shoot this out, we'll listen to a little we'll listen to a little bit of your rendition. Okay?
Yep. I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast. A tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain, homes are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
Yeah. That was great. You know,
Yeah.
I love having you guys sing, and you guys get better every year. It's just great.
Thank
so
you.
You've got to plan to come and see the play this year. So let's see. It's in the middle of July.
Right, the third weekend in July.
Okay.
We've got it set now.
Yeah.
And we start rehearsals 5 weeks before that, so it's like the fourth week or so of June.
Okay.
We're
And what
down
do you
here
what do you need
every
for
night.
talents in order to be part of the play?
Well, as you
Guys.
can see.
Strong man.
As long as you're male. If you
There-
were a male presence,
Good looking.
that's, well, I don't think we have
There-
said that, but it's preferable.
There's a number of male parts that we constantly are looking for, whether it be the letter carrier or the Hoboken Terror. We sort of have those well in hand now, but things like the policeman and Rube and
Frank.
Ebb this next year. We're going to be looking for an Ebb, so somebody that's a little bit left of center. It's the truism that's here and
Right.
the realism that's here is you would have had farm hands that were a little, a less, well, a
Yeah.
little simple, that would have
They
worked
were
on
simple.
farms.
Right.
Worked on farms
Right.
and stuff like that because they couldn't do it on their own, so they would hire out to
Right.
To other places.
Yeah.
So it's very true to what real life in New England was.
Right. Yeah. So I don't mean to put you on the spot, but would you like to?
Just don't ask me to sing.
I won't ask you to sing. I've heard you sing before. No. But would you like to recite part of one of your parts as Uncle Josh?
Well, which one would you like?
Do
Do
the
you like
fourth
the end of the first act or what?
To the end of the fourth act, your
End
spiel.
of the fourth act.
The spiel.
All right, the end of the fourth act
Okay.
is plainly this. Hold on. I want to have a word with the neighbors before they go. Now, you fathers who've got wild boys, I want you to go kind of easy on them. For they act kind of foolish now and then, forgive them. For like it is not, it's as much your fault as it is theirs. They may have inherited it, you can't tell. And mothers, what's the use of saying anything to you? Bless your smiling faces. Your hearts are always boiling over with love and kindness for the wayward child. Now don't let this be your last visit to the old homestead. Come up again next July, when all nature's at her best, and let the scarlet runners chase you back to childhood.
The end. The curtain
Yeah.
closes.
Well, no, we do it.
Well, no,
Oh, that's right. You do the dance.
We do a
That's
contra
right.
dance at that point.
Right,
but-
right.
Hence
So-
the yeehaw.
Yes, yes. So, you've got to put this on your calendar. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just suggesting it gently.
Who-
I'm telling
do
them what
I?
to do. We'll tell you what to do.
Oh, the question would be, would we email, and who would we email?
So you tell us.
Yeah, come on.
Who would they email?
We actually have a website,
Yeah.
and it's oldhomesteadswansea.com.
Okay.
And on there, there's a link for president at oldhomesteadswansea.com, and that will get right to me.
Okay.
Or you can do stage manager, and that'll get to Joan, who's directing the play. So
Okay, good. So you have no reason not to get in contact with Lee or somebody at the old homestead. It's really a lot of fun. And to me, we see enough of the violence and the killing and all the bad stuff on television. Wouldn't you love to go and see something fun and enjoyable and family? It's family oriented. You can sit up on the bank, bring a chair, bring a picnic blanket, bring a picnic. Yeah, I mean,
lunch.
yeah, you know,
Absolutely.
have your whole family come, make it a family reunion. You know, it is what it is. You know, whatever you want it to be. And look at, I mean, these girls work really hard. All of the cast does. And what do they get from it? A bundle of money. No. I know you don't. Someday.
Sometimes
This
there's
is just the
popcorn.
start. Yes.
Sometimes there's popcorn, I
Oh,
mean.
yes.
Yeah.
And hot dogs.
Yeah. All the stuff that's left over.
Yeah.
So anyway.
The fox. There's a fox
Right.
around or something.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah. So it's been fun today in my backyard at the old homestead. And if you're interested in more information that we can pass on to you, you can email us at inmybackyardch8@gmail.com and we'll get back to you. So we'll look forward to seeing you up on that hill. And July, mark your calendar. And thank you, ladies.
Yeah,
And thank you,
thank
Lee.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Gus.
you.
All right, we'll see you in my backyard.